Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Forging the Falcons and, the rest of the NFL. We certainly don't stick to just the Falcons on the show, but we do like to talk a lot of Atlanta Falcons. My name is Scott Kennedy. I am an Atlanta native. This is Nick Kendall over here on this side. He is in Seattle, so he wakes up bright and early to share all of his wisdom and knowledge and expertise with us, and we certainly appreciate it. Nick, how are you doing this morning?
Good day to be alive. It's Friday. It's not raining today. The sun's out. I'm excited to be here. Excited to talk some ball. I know that if we did 6:30 a.m. for me every day of the week, I might get a little bit exhausted, but we're in the home stretch now. Third base to home plate with the draft, 2 weeks away. So definitely okay to be here. Excited to be here and talk a little bit of football.
Yeah, we could be tired in May.
Yeah.
We can be tired in May. So, we might end up going 5 days a week through the draft between the two channels. I don't think that would be surprising at all. So, I wanted to say good morning to some folks. I built the chat a little early this morning to get that Facebook notification, and it looks like it seems to be working. Got several folks coming in. Lots of people on Atlanta Falcons fans. So, welcome in. Hit that like button as you come in. And if you have any questions, make sure you put them in there, and we'll try and hit as many as we can. Franklin Peterson wanted to say good morning. Said he'll be back soon. Forgot a lunch. Take care of her. Take care of the wife. My wife and I both work out of the house, so I'm running stuff to school all the time. That never happened when I was a kid. Man, you forgot something. You just forgot it. You did without. Luke Wright says good morning, Scott and Nick. Happy Friday as well. These Friday streams are the best. Friday streams, they are pretty nice. They are pretty nice. EJ, good morning. Good morning, EJ. Jeremy Sean already in here. Good morning. And EJ says he likes that picture of Travon Walker I used as the cover. That Travon Walker's already scary with those turnover chains. He looks frightening. Yeah, and what's funny, Nick, with Travon Walker wearing that 44, he doesn't look all that big. It's kind of a deceptive 260 plus pounds with that 44 on, isn't it?
I mean, his body type is so weird too. He's got 35-inch arm length too. So he's got the frame to put on more weight if you want. I'm curious to see what they will do with him. I know he went from 290 to 270. What did he weigh in at the combine? 265 over the past few years at Georgia, but he is intriguing. I know that there's starting to be some pushback on Travon Walker now with him because he's getting the first overall hype, and people are like, well, the tape doesn't match that. You know what? He's played at 19 years old on a defense that was stacked with people. If you do the intangibles test on him and you buy into him, then I got no problem with him going number one overall. Is it a risk compared to Aiden Hutchinson? Sure it is. I get that.
Is Aiden Hutchinson a risk?
Probably less so because of the production, but that's some different people have different tolerance of risk. So I
didn't realize Travon was that young.
Yeah, he's only I think he might be turning 21. He's very young for this last year.
I didn't realize it, but yeah, 6'5", 272, 35.5-inch arms. Let me look down at the OL. Braxton Jones.
Matt Walesko has longer arms. Are you talking about age or arm length?
Arm length. Marcus McKeitham, Matt Walesko, and Obana Easy. There's only a couple offensive tackles with arms that long. So, yeah, very, very interesting. He's an intriguing prospect, and we are going to do a mock draft. We're going to do a 7-round mock draft. And Nick, what do you think about this? You want to take the Broncos? We've got several Broncos fans in here. A little crossover from the shows we do. We can do a 7-round Falcons. I'll take the Falcons. You take the Broncos, and we'll go through the whole thing.
Sure, that sounds great to me.
All right, before we get to that, I want to get your take on this. And I told you I wasn't going to tell you what I was going to ask you about. I wanted a fresh take, but I have faith that you'll be able to handle it. Kyler Murray could be on the market. It's a possibility. If you are the Atlanta Falcons, I think you are interested in a possible franchise quarterback. What are you willing to do to try and get Kyler Murray?
Ooh, that's an interesting one. Well, first off, I'm not sure how he fits with what Arthur Smith does, but any offensive coordinator needs to match what they do to the quarterback, not the other way around, especially if it's a talented quarterback. So figure it out, I guess, Arthur. But probably it's going to cost you 2 first-round picks, 8 and something else, maybe even an additional pick as well, because he's still cheap. He's exceedingly young. So probably at least 2, I would say 2 first and a second. And if you want to give up that's a dangerous proposition for the Falcons, because even if you give up Kyler Murray, your first round pick this year, the one in 2023, even if you get Kyler Murray, it could be a top 3 pick. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. Pick your poison there.
At this point, see, I don't like Kyler Murray as much as Deshaun Watson for the quarterback play. Just the size, the style of play, I think is more long lasting. I don't know, in a vacuum, all things being equal, I would rather have Deshaun Watson than Kyler Murray. I'm not convinced I would want to give up a similar package for Deshaun Watson to Kyler Murray, and I don't think he'll get paid the same way. Do you?
Probably not the same level as Deshaun Watson, just because Deshaun Watson has had better career to date, and Kyler Murray is kind of he's the fast horse out of the gate and then kind of falls back as the season progresses, maybe because of his size, maybe because of Cliff Kingsbury. I guess we'll find out as we gather more data. But it's a hard one for me, because if the Falcons were, in the Broncos situation, where the roster is pretty good outside of the quarterback position, then I would think it's okay to give up 8 and your 2023 first plus more. But Falcons roster, if you play as Kyler Murray, you go from probably picking top 3 next year to picking top 10, and it still could be picking top 3. So dangerous proposition, very dangerous.
Yeah, at this point, since you're already eating the cap room, I would almost, the dead cap, I would kind of stick to the plan and think, all right, let's work with what we've got, which is a number 8 this year, a top 5 next year, and about $150 million in free agent money.
Yeah.
That's the way I'm thinking of it. Again, I want to say hi to some folks. Got a decent crowd coming in on Facebook. Dietrich Judkins, James Hamilton, Floyd Schumacher. I've already hit that like button. If you haven't, please hit it. And would love to see you. Love to see you back. Tyrone Camp coming in saying, "Good morning. How you doing, Scott? A little under the weather, so I apologize the way I sound, but I feel all right, and the coffee and medicine is kicking in. So there we go." U.S. Dave, good morning. Brian Dunn, good morning. Falling Sloth. Feels like it's been a couple minutes. So glad you are here in Scott country. It is my channel, so yeah, I can live with that one. Ja Cannon, and that's a newer name for me. And then that's a slip right there. I've got my chapstick. Yeah, I've got mine. Mark Schrader, good morning. Good morning. Don't steal our guys, Sean's. The thing is, remember, a lot of the guys you like, I've been trying to talk you into. So they're my guys. They're my guys. The Abraham Lucases, who's been pounding the bench harder for Abraham Lucas than this guy? Not too many. So with that said, we're about 8 minutes in. Would you like to get started on this, Nick? Since we broke down a mock draft, we broke down Jordan Reed's 7th round. We took an hour doing it on Wednesday. I think we got a chance to do a live mock draft now. So let me share my screen. We'll zoom in. Zoom. Reminds me of the old Mazda commercials. And we'll go Broncos. We'll go Falcons. We'll go 7 rounds. And we'll go fast. We ready to go?
Yes, sir. Let's do it.
All right. Enter draft. And I feel like the more I've been doing this, there's 7 guys I really like. The Falcons have the 8th pick. Those 7 guys have been coming off the board about 2 out of 3 times I do this thing now. And I'm like, damn it. But you do get good trade down options with PFN, which is with PFF, I'm sorry, which is kind of fun. Let me zoom in just a little bit more. I think that's a little better. One more.
No, that's good.
Yeah, I'll go back 150%. We'll hit start draft. So I saw Stingley come off. That means I've got at least one guy available.
Yep. And it's pretty obvious. You see it there. It's a good pick for you. So Hutchinson goes 1, Kyle Hamilton 2. We'll see about that one. Kayvon Thibodeau 3. We'll see about that one too. It really sounds like as we approach the draft, he's falling. So
Ahmad Sauce. I would take any one of those 4 guys at 8. I would probably pass on Derek Stingley right now. That would be close.
Yeah.
I would take Ike Mekwano. I would not take Charles Cross. That means I've got 2 guys, Nick.
Yeah.
It means I got 2 guys. That means I've got Evan Neal, the tackle, and I've got who we were talking about just a few minutes ago, Travon Walker.
Yeah, I feel like we took Travon Walker last time.
I don't care about that. So, I mean, I didn't have Evan Neal available last time, though.
Yeah.
I think in this draft, I've got options at right tackle. I think the edge is harder to find. I I've got options that I could if Evan Neal was a definite surefire Tony Baselli, Jonathan Ogden type, then I might be able to talk my way into this one. But I love Travon Walker's upside. I love his physical ability. That I want to get my edge here. I do. I want to get my edge here. So
Okay, let's do
I'm
it.
going to pass on Neal. Those would be the two I'd be happy to take, though. As soon as I saw Charles Cross go, I knew I had at least one guy go. When I saw Derek Stingley go, that means I had two. So the 7 guys that I'm talking about that I really want for the Atlanta Falcons at 8 are Hutchinson, Hamilton, Thibodeau, Gardner, Aquanu, Evan Neal, or Travon Walker. So if anybody else goes before that, I don't want a quarterback here. If I'm going to get a quarterback, I'm trading down.
Yeah.
So I'm taking Travon Walker with this pick.
No problem with that. I've been on the Travon Walker train for a bit. Freak athlete, height, weight, speed, super young. You're definitely aiming for more of the ceiling here than the floor. I think if you were more concerned about, a definite player, I think Evan Neal would make more sense. But, I got no issue taking Travon Walker. I'd be very excited to see him in Atlanta because of just what an absolute talented freak he is.
All right, which puts me back on the board, and I don't see him yet because he's been going, which puts me back on the board at 43. And you know what player I want here? I want Travis Jones in this spot.
Yeah.
I want the big nose guard from Connecticut, and he hasn't gone. He's been going a lot in this spot. So Travis Jones, if you haven't seen him before, let me bring up some video of him real quick while I make this pick because I don't care that I've gone. If I come out of this with Travon Walker and Travis Jones, oh my God, I'm doing backflips. I'm so happy.
Talk about igniting a defensive line that was the worst in football last season from the edge and the interior defensive line spot. Both those guys probably, still probably take a year to kind of get it all together, but you have some body types and athleticism that are rare for that position. So, God, he's such a monster.
I mean, he's so strong. He's 6'4", 6'5", and this drill is just silly
For that size.
Yeah, I mean that hit the bend and the flexibility, and I think he's a sub 5. People would be talking more about him if Jordan Davis didn't go bonkers.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty happy with this pick. He's the guy I look for every time if he's there. This is Cole Strange he's going against. I like Cole Strange. I do at center. I like Cole Strange at center. If he's there, I might take him. But I'm a big fan of Travis Jones. I really am.
Take him. Definitely send it in. He's a great player. And who's, crying tears of joy with this draft so far? Gotta be Deion Jones. Some smaller linebacker.
Dean Pease too. Grady Jarrett. If Grady Jarrett's still around.
Grady. Yeah.
Let's see. Okay, I'm a 3-4 end and I get Travis Jones on one side of me and Travon Walker on the other side of me. Yes, please.
Yeah, talk about a totally different body type and ability there.
Dave coming in and saying good morning. Good morning, Dave. And Brian Dunn, it's kind of a running joke here in the state of Georgia that Falcons do not pick Georgia fans, Georgia Bulldogs. And Brian, you'd know this for sure. I'm pretty sure this would easily be the highest Georgia Bulldog that has ever been taken by the Atlanta Falcons. I can't think of anybody even close to – I can't even think of a first rounder, let alone number 8 overall. So, but on this one, I'm going to scroll down to about 42, and I'm going to see my guy right there, Travis Jones. See, I don't even have to look. There isn't anybody in this range that I'd rather have. No one than Travis Jones. That's my guy.
Well, you are going very heavy on defense, which I do like and enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, is there an argument for maybe getting some offensive infrastructure players as an aim in this draft, especially if you're looking for a quarterback in 2023? Getting a wide receiver or an offensive lineman the year before that quarterback comes in to give them that season under their belt so they can be better there, and you're not going in with a bunch of rookies with that rookie quarterback.
There is. I think I'm going with how hard it is to find interior defensive linemen.
Yeah.
and how much I really like him. But you could talk me into a wide receiver in that spot. You could talk me into an offensive tackle in that spot if one of them falls.
Yep.
Again, we even drafted Desmond Ridder in that spot.
Yep.
As a possibility. So I would but for this team and what they need desperately is their defensive line. If it wasn't the worst in football, it was the worst in football. It was, you take Grady Jarrett off of there, and we talk about this all the time. Okay, Nick, and my Georgia Bulldog fans, help me out here. Could the best team in the NFL, the worst team in the NFL, would they lose to the best team in college? No, they wouldn't. They wouldn't. The guys in the NFL are professionals. However, I really rather would have had the front seven from the Georgia Bulldogs than the front seven from at least the front five. I would have rather had the Georgia Bulldogs front five than the Atlanta Falcons front five. Legitimately, I would have rather had that.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, they're incredibly talented and full of body types that not even the Falcons have. And, we talk about that. Maybe they're not the argument like, a college team would beat an NFL team. No, but you're talking about guys who are future lottery picks in essence. I mean,
no, and I said that there was a year the Miami Hurricanes had like 6 first-round draft picks or something like that, back in the 2000 team or something. It's like, no, they wouldn't beat an NFL team, but they'd be a hell of an expansion team.
Yeah, like 5 years from now.
Yeah, if you said, okay, if I'm going to give you an expansion team and I'm going to give you 6 first-round draft picks, you're going to be pretty good. That'd be a heck of an expansion team. But I legitimately would have rather had the front 7 from Georgia last year than the front 7 from the Atlanta Falcons. At least the front 5. You could maybe be able to talk me into Deion Jones wasn't very good, but Deion Jones and Foye Oluokun or, Channing Tindall and Nakobe Dean.
And Quay Walker. You didn't even mention the guy who's probably going to be the first linebacker drafted.
Yeah, and Quay Walker, and who's the younger kid that's not even in the draft yet?
Jalen Carter.
Jalen Carter.
Oh,
and
he's so good.
And Jared Davis and Trevon Walker. Yeah. I would have rather gone out there with that last year for sure.
Yeah. God.
We a little concerned. Dave asked, "Are you a little concerned about the hype around Trevon Walker?" I think the hype's legitimate. It depends. Again, this becomes one of the questions where I have a question for you. Are you concerned about the hype? At what level do you think the hype is? The hype of he could be the number 1 overall guy. That's legit. He's the next JJ Watt. Okay, let's pump the brakes just a little bit. He's the next, Bruce Smith, Reggie White. Let's pump the brakes on that just a little bit. But could he be the number 1 overall because he's such a good athlete and has such great upside? Yeah, I'm with that. Would you rather have there is no definite number 1 in this draft. Aiden Hutchinson's kind of working his way up to that and cementing that spot because he's safe.
Yeah,
he's safe. He's not necessarily considered even one of the Bosa guys. It's a comp, but I think you take both the brothers in this draft over Aiden Hutchinson. So it depends. These guys are overranked. Well, what do you rank them? They're overhyped compared to what? So that's my concern on that is, what do you think? It depends on what you think they are hyped to. Nick, what do you think?
I mean, you have probably a much higher floor with Aiden Hutchinson, but the athleticism and the run defense and the size of Trevon Walker plays as well. There is obviously some concern with him, but you're going to get day 1, you're going to get a dominant down 1 and down 2 edge defender against the run that can get after the quarterback and do a bunch of twists and stunts while he figures it out as a pass rusher. Now, the pass rush is the value. That's what makes money in today's NFL. But having that floor of already being really good against the run gives you a pathway to the field that makes him a decently safe pick as well. So I got no issue with it. Obviously, it could burn up, but I don't think he's a soft player. And with how his run defense is, I don't think he's not coachable. I don't think he doesn't get it. I just think he needs to work on his moves. And with the athleticism he has, with the length he has, it should play. So that's the type of guy that you bet on, right? That's the type of guy you bet on every time.
What's interesting, he says Richard Seymour level hype. I was in and around recruiting at that time, and Rodney Garner was there, and they had Stroud and Seymour at the same time. I didn't like those guys at Georgia. The way they were used, they were basically 3-4 guys that just they didn't put up numbers. Richard Seymour did once he got moved to end. See, I was a big John Henderson guy at Tennessee. Or who did they have after that? It wasn't Charles Grant. I can't remember his name, but there was a 6'3" killer that came in just after those guys to Georgia that I like better. I'm like, those guys are putting up numbers. Like Stroud and Seymour had like 4 tackles for loss their senior year combined. I'm like, what's the big deal here? So Richard Seymour was moved to end because he was so tall. It made sense. That he actually, I think he had a better pro career than certainly he didn't have a very productive college career, but he did his job. And that's kind of what we say about Trayvon Walker too. He did his job. He wasn't there trying to stat pad and get numbers. He was there to be part of the system. And when you're putting rings on your fingers and holding up trophies at the end of the year, you say, job well done.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, God, he's a talented player. Would be a great get. So now we are back on the clock with the Falcons again at pick 58. I know what you're going to want to do.
You know where I'm going here.
Yep, we might as well just keep getting your guys. Abraham Lucas.
I mean, if I'm going, I go Trayvon Walker, I go Travis Jones, and I go Abraham Lucas. I got my edge, I got my tackle, I got my nose guard. So that's where I'm going on this one.
Can we scroll down as well just to see who's on the board?
Cam Thomas, Troy Anderson. I can make a good argument for him. I could still use a wide receiver here.
Yeah, I think the good ones that are worth taking are mostly gone. Christian Watson there, Alec Pierce.
Christian Watson's still there. He won't, but I'll set the over-under at 74, and I'm going to take the under on that pick, and I'm taking all bets. Anybody wants to take the over on Christian Watson at 74, slide into the DMs.
What about 58?
I would set the over-under for him at 40.
40. I would take the over on that one just because the volume.
I'm thinking 45, honestly.
Okay,
I'm thinking 45.
Definitely. Well, right now, I think Abraham Lucas makes the most sense. He's the body type that you're wanting here. I'm looking at this board. If I'm drafting for Denver here at 64, I'm in a little bit of an impasse. But
you start thinking about, I want to trade up. Honestly, you're starting to think about trading up here. I'm looking at this going, okay, I pick again at 74. Maybe I can get Alec Pierce, Christian Watson. That's what I'm thinking if I can go after my receiver. But I'm going Abraham Lucas on this, and that should put you on the board eventually, right?
Yep, right here.
There we go. 64 on the clock.
Terrible board. Absolutely terrible.
Jamari Slater just went. Perrion Winfrey, I like for the Broncos. Martin Emerson. Christian Watson went at 60. Benito.
Yeah, this is a terrible board for the Broncos. A bunch of guys that I am not high on that are ranked high. Justin Ross injured like crazy. Don't really like the Brian Asamoah. He's kind of a niche player. Didn't like the other guys up top there. I think I'm going to have to take Zach Pascal here. I don't love the value of Zach Pascal or Josh Pascal, excuse me, at pick 64, but I think he is again, we talked about it earlier, dominant run defender. He had one of the fastest 10-yard splits of any player at the combine, for any edge rusher at the combine, and he weighs 270 pounds. Some people are like, oh, he's too short. I don't care if you're short at edge, really, as long as you're not, 5'11". He's 6'2". He's 6'2 and a half. My biggest issue is that Josh Pascal is honestly the length. He is not a super lengthy boy, which I would prefer at the edge spot.
Which is why you're getting at 7, at 64, the last pick in the second instead of higher.
Yep. No, you're absolutely right. Let's scroll down a little bit too, just because I want to see if there's anybody that's stupidly maybe underrated on this board. Keep scrolling. Yeah, nothing standing out to me. Nope. I do love Zach Tom. If you take him,
we can get him later.
Maybe. Yeah, it's definitely Josh Pascal for me here. I do want to say I've heard from multiple people now. I asked around on it yesterday after I heard a little bit of a tidbit of it. Troy Anderson in high school had reconstructive shoulder surgery. Maybe was flagged at the combine. Maybe something that some teams are concerned about. I don't want to say it's who's the quarterback from Nevada?
Carson Strong. And
I don't want to say it's
Carson. I was looking to see Troy did not do bench press. That was one thing I wanted to see. I was like, okay, if he threw up 25 reps, I'm not too worried about it, but he didn't do bench press.
There's some whispers coming out there that his shoulders couldn't get both or one, a big concern. Another player with that issue is Marcus Jones. So maybe watch out for Troy Anderson sliding a bit. I'm going to just throw it out there. And with that, I'm going to take Josh Pascal.
Done. Josh Pascal, edge, Kentucky to the Broncos.
Yep.
This means we're going back to back. Now, I saw Alec Pierce
think he's gone.
Yeah, he just went, didn't he? There goes Mechie. There goes Pierce.
Yeah, that's too bad.
72. That's where I wanted to go next with the Falcons. I wanted to go here. I could use a wide receiver. I like Jalen Tolbert, actually. I do.
Yeah.
Let me see what he measured, because I just put his video up on my YouTube channel. I kind of forgot about him, honestly. He's taller than I thought. But Jalen Tolbert came in at the combine at 6'1", 194, 4'49", 36-inch vert, 708 3-cone. But with Calvin Austin still here, did he go
Yeah,
too?
he is. No, he's there.
He is?
Yep. Scroll down. I saw him.
I take him at 82.
He's right there.
I'll kind of. I like Dylan Parham. I do at guard. I could use a guard, flex him at center. I got 1 OL. I got 2 DL. I'm gonna go Dylan Parham here. I want him to have. Good morning, Steve. Good morning, Steve. Welcome in. I would like to go in the trenches here. I've been pounding the table. This is a heavy trench class. I could go wide receiver in this one, but the one I really wanted, just went off the board in that spot. So I like Dylan Parham. He can provide competition at left guard and center for me.
Can I trade down? Because that's who I wanted, and I'm not having fun anymore because the board is crap. Cameron Thomas, not a fan. Super tweener, productive in the Mountain West. I don't see any traits from him that make me excited at all. Already took a guy there. I do like Darian Beavers.
I like Darian Beavers too.
He's a little bit of a tweener for me. Is he an edge? Is he an off ball? He's going to provide you good. Going to provide you. Oh, there's Cole Strange. God, maybe I'll just go with Cole Strange and bite the bullet here. I would have preferred Dylan Parham, but Cole Strange is a pretty good one here. Let's keep scrolling down. Max Mitchell, Nick Cross, Marcus Jones, Luke Fortnite. I love Zach Tom. I actually like Zach Tom more than most of these guys, but I was hoping maybe to get him at 96. Let's scroll down. Let's keep going. Just keep scrolling.
You're not scrolling down this far. You'll pick again by then.
Yeah, I just like to see what the board looks like. I guess, okay, I'm going to go with Zach Tom. I'm going to go with my guys. Maybe it's early, but I'm planting a flag on
Well, what's
these
interesting
dudes.
was we'll save this and we'll see where they actually went off. That's what, again, I'm not going to get Christian Watson at 65.
No.
So let's see, whose board is better at the end of the day, where these guys go. So we had Zach Tom.
Actually, this is a good call too by Jeremy. Take a corner now, Nick. Cam Taylor, Jones, et cetera, et cetera. Can I see the cornerback board? If you would.
Maybe.
Because I like West. I like
yeah, 106, 91.
It's definitely cheating to take look at all these cornerbacks. I like all these, maybe not Cordell Flott this early, 6 foot, 170. What a weird body type. But I think I can get one of these cornerbacks with pick 96. So let's go Zach Tom first, just because I think that he's more likely to come off the board here.
Mark coming in with our first super. Thank you, Super Mark Schrader. And he has a question for you, Nick. Under the circumstances at 64, would you have wanted to trade down?
Yes. Yes, I would have. I am perfectly content taking Josh Pascal. If Josh Pascal would have been gone as well, I would have had my I don't know, my thumb up, my you-know-what, and been begging for a trade down. But yeah, definitely at 64, I'd be looking for a trade down. I'm not giving away the pick for nothing because I am content taking Josh Pascal there. But let's go Zach Tom here. He tested like an athletic freak at the combine. Most of his athletic comps are like superstars, Scott. They're like legitimately superstar players. It's like the best guards in football. Like it's Joe Thuney who tested like him. It's Rashawn Slater who tested like him, a bunch of those guys. So no issue with that at all. And Calvin Austin's still there for you.
Yeah, I like Calvin Austin this pick. I do. I've gone trenches twice because I do like Cole Strange. But I just went after my thing. And I could use somebody that's going to put some fear in the defenses. I mean, he's smaller, but he is athletically gifted. 4.3s, super great vertical jump, long arms for his size. We kind of discussed that yesterday. He's built very similar to me, except he's 5'8", meaning he's got 74-inch wingspan. I'm 6'1", 9.5-inch hands, big hands. He's just shorter, but he plays bigger with speed, and he gives somebody, you've got Auden Tate coming in this year, who's your size guy. You got Kyle Pitts as your size guy. You got plenty of size. You need somebody that can that can move.
Yeah.
Calvin Austin can move. I don't know how they don't have needs wide receiver on here. That's unbelievable. But I am going, oh, here we go. Ethan just got here. Welcome in, Ethan. Welcome in, Ethan. The Falcons are having a dream draft, and the Broncos are having a nightmare draft. That's to catch you up real quick.
Yeah.
We're doing a dual draft. I've got the Atlanta Falcons, and Nick has the Denver Broncos, and I am going to go Calvin Austin with the 82nd pick overall. I like his athleticism. I like the fear factor he'll bring to the teams.
Yeah. I mean, dynamism, and teams are looking for speed, even though he's small. Get him the ball. Let good things happen. The NFL today, obviously, it's about scoring points, but emphasized more than anything is explosive plays. And defenses right now are doing everything they can to take away the explosive play. They want to make you earn it as a defense. So any sort of margins that you can make smaller because you have dynamic athletes with the ball in their hands is a bet you want to take. And Calvin Austin is a track star, former track star, then walked on to Memphis. I know he's small, but he's not Wan'Dale Robinson small. Right, like I think he's got some translatable traits. So yes, I think that'd be a good pick. And
Yeah,
now
he's not Gerald McNeil, the Ice Cube, small.
No.
But I can drop him as a returner, a little backup for Avery Williams. I always get as soon as we did this, Avery Williams and Avery Williamson entered my mind at the exact same time, and I can never remember who's who. So Avery Williams plays for the Falcons.
I think so. Former Boise State player.
Avery Williamson was a linebacker for the Broncos, but it's probably flipped that. I can't keep it straight.
I think
you're on the clock at 96.
Yes, I am. There's a trade option there, but no, let's not do that. It takes too much time. Let's scroll down. Luke Fortner's still here. Tyler Algier is still here. Damone Clark. Can we pull up the cornerbacks again for me? Because for some reason they're low on cornerbacks, which I guess is good on them. But Zion McCollum's still there. Cam Taylor-Britt's still there. I'm going to go with Cam Taylor-Britt in this one because I think he's actually a second round, third round caliber prospect, and to get him at 96 is silly. Inside outside versatility, good tackler, good zone instincts. I got no issue with this. I think he's going to go higher than this. So I'm cheating the system, getting a guy that I don't think would be
you won't get a grade for it. That's like I got the pick I wanted.
Yep, I just disagree with the teacher.
That puts me on the clock at 114, and you've got back-to-back. So who do you want so I can grab him here? I'm just kidding. Again, the Falcons have needs everywhere. At this point, running back isn't off. The running back's not off. Linebacker's not off the board. Tight end, honestly, isn't off the board. I got tackle, but I do like Matt Waletzko. I really do. They would kill me for this pick. But if I wanted to hedge on that giant contract of Jake Matthews, if I wanted to hedge on Abraham Lucas, who I took in the second, and if I wanted to hedge on Caleb McGarry being terrible, oh man, going back-to-back tackles on this is awfully intriguing. And he's going to be gone. I like Waletzko. I really do. But I'm going to lean into this one and say could use another running back. I could use a long-term running back here. Oh, I like Waletzko. Take the guy you want, Scott. Take the guy you want. I'm doubling up on tackle. If I miss on tackle in the fourth round, so be it. If I hit on tackle in the fourth round, good for me.
Yep.
I'm going with Matt Waletzko.
And that could be something that in the long term means that you have some pressure on Jake Matthews, which gives you an out a couple years from now. So you're just, it's about getting the cap healthy and giving yourself options at value positions.
Yeah, I can get running backs. I can get running backs. I can sign running backs. I can get running backs. I can't get a 6'8" guy.
36.5-inch arm length.
Yeah, with 36-inch arms, and he was right at a 5 flat 40. And he's lean.
His base is so skinny.
He's a skinny 315 pounds.
Yeah.
The way he moves, I think this is Ebiketie he's going against here.
Yeah.
The way he moves, he's so light on his feet. I love him. I don't Spencer Brown love him, but I do like him a lot. I think third round, fourth round, steal. I can't pass. This becomes, for me, this ended up, that's Boye Mafe, who could go top of the second or the first. I can't, for me, we're talking best available player here at a premium position. And yes, please.
And even if he just ends up being a swing tackle, it's a day
he ends
3
up being your
pick.
third guy for $750,000 a year.
Yeah.
So be it. I'd be pretty happy with that. So I'm taking Matt. Well, let's go. I'm doubling up on the tackle.
Absolutely. All right. Well, can you pull it back up so we can see who the Broncos are going to take here with back-to-back picks? Unless you closed it. In which case.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just scrolling. Dumb. I'm looking at it. What are you talking
Yeah,
about?
I was like, I can't see anything. Let's keep scrolling down. Just curious who the
Maybe it's time to get your linebacker for DWI guys.
maybe. Man. Okay, there's one that I'm looking at there. Yeah. Keep scrolling.
Remember, you got to
I
take
got
2
2 picks here. Yep.
You got to take 2.
There's the cheating pick right there. I know I already took Zach Tom, but I don't really care. Can I see who the tackles are? Did Braxton Jones already go?
Braxton Jones is well gone, I believe. I like Chris Paul.
He's a guard.
Oh,
There's Braxton Jones
right
right
there.
Well, I already took Zach Tom, who I like as an interior offensive lineman, so I'm not going to go with him. I think you might as well just take Braxton Jones for one of them because I think he's a good pick. I like him better than Matt. Well, let's go. So I'm happy that you took him there, and I'll be jumping over, clicking my heels to take Braxton Jones here. So you can just take him. I don't even care.
There's one.
They can give me a bad grade. They're stupid. It's fine.
Yeah.
I have a different board that I'm working on. That's totally fine. And there's scroll down again. There was a name that stuck out to me that I'm gonna hype this guy as well because this is, I think, the area where you should be going for this position. There it is, K. Dotton. I think K. Dotton's a better blocker than Trey McBride. I think that obviously you can get him round 4 versus round 2 for like Trey McBride. Give me K. Dotton every time in this situation. I think that's a much better pick. So Broncos need an all-around tight end, but maybe they're not going to totally utilize it. Difference between pick 116 versus 64, night and day for me. So I'll be ecstatic with K. Dotton here. Run away with that one. And I know that Cam Jurgens probably value-wise should have been one of these picks here. A, I don't think Cam Jurgens is going to be here. B, I took Zach Tom already, who I think is ideally, especially in an outside zone heavy scheme, can be a center for you. He's played center before. I think he can stay there. So I'll go with K. Dotton here, not go Cam Jurgens, even though Cam Jurgens deserves a shout out. Also, I think it's physically impossible and illegal for me to go multiple Nebraska picks in a mock draft. I think I would keel over. So I can't do that.
Good morning, Chris. Good morning. False start Falcon. Good morning. Dave coming in says, does Billy Zappy go undrafted? I wouldn't draft him. 7th round. I think he's a coach in the making. I don't think he's an NFL. He 3rd string clipboard holder coach. Follow the Kellen Moore mold. That's my comp. Is Kellen Moore. Outstanding college quarterback, super smart offensive coordinator in 4 years.
Yeah, he's not for me. You need to have the arm talent, and he just doesn't have the arm talent. So I wouldn't even, like you said, 7th round, sure. But other than that, I don't even think I'd use a pick on him. And
you are picking again.
Unfortunate. Yeah, and I see somebody saying K. Dotton sucks. Tell me more. Tell me why, because it goes against everything that I've seen or believe with him. But instead of just making a claim, support your claim. What about him sucks? I know that he's been injured. That's the biggest concern for me. But I see essentially what you're getting with Trey McBride with a bigger frame and maybe a slightly less athlete, but a bigger frame and a better blocker. So, and 60 picks later. So I'd be ecstatic to have K. Dotton round 4. And I think you're only getting him because he dealt with injury last year and Washington kind of imploded. So
I can make this pick for you.
This one for me. Okay, we got
Uzurike.
Yeah, have I taken any interior defensive
at 145? I can't figure out where to look to see who you've already taken on this mock draft.
I haven't taken a running back yet. So I can tell you. I took 64, I took Josh Pascal. 75, I took Zach Tom. 96, I took Cam Taylor-Britt. 115, I took Braxton Jones. And 116, I took K. Dotton. So I'm still looking for potentially a running back. I'm still looking for an interior defensive lineman. And after that, it's just gravy. Maybe another offensive lineman to get some ability in there. I do like Pierre Strong here. That's an option for me. But I think you're right. I think that Uzurike, classic 5 technique, maybe not the most twitchy guy in the world, but has crazy length. Really, really good length. And if you're looking for a The Rams last year ran a lot of 5-1-5 defensive looks where they would play 5 defensive linemen, or if you want to call it a 3-3-5. I don't like 3-3-5 because I think about it as a stack. So 5 guys on the defensive line, and they used Sean Robinson a lot, who was essentially a glorified run stopper, playing mostly the 4-eye, 4 technique, 5 technique. That's the role I'm going to use Awuzurike for. So I'll be happy with Awuzurike. This is I'm really am going to keel over here pretty soon. All I need is I need a Wisconsin player after this, because now we're going Nebraska, Iowa State. Do the evil trinity. It'll be Wisconsin next for me, but Awuzurike I think is the pick.
All right. Done. Excuse me. That puts me on the board, huh?
Yeah.
I saw a running back I liked. I like Grant Calcaterra too. Could use another tight end with one retiring and one leaving via free agency.
And Jarrett Patterson also coming in talking about answering my call for Otten. Overrated blocker, injured, can't move, terrible athlete. I'd be surprised if he gets drafted. Please bet me right now. Find my Venmo. Let's go $50. I bet you he gets drafted. I bet you he gets drafted before round 5 even. So let's
set the over under. I threw it down too because I think Christian Watson was 74 on here. Anybody want to take the over on that one? Slide into my DMs. I'm taking all bets.
Absolutely. He gave the over under here, undrafted. He will get drafted. So that's that's a pretty safe bet for me. It's 6'5", what, a 250, 255. I like this tape a lot. He was injured last year, but before that, pretty darn good.
So, I'm at 151. I'm not again until 190. I'm going with another speed
JT
guy
Woods.
here.
Yeah.
I'm going to go JT Woods. It's a little bit of a reach on their board, and they'll shillelagh me for it, but I don't care.
Take your guys.
And thanks, Jeremy, for the reminder. No, I'm just teasing. I've been on the JT Woods bandwagon for a long time.
Yeah.
And the other kid at Baylor, the corner, 6'4", 205, 426. Then the wide receiver, Tyquan Thornton. So there's
some speed.
There's some speed there. I'm going to go safety. Get some speed. Use them in special teams. Use them. Find a way to use a guy that's 6'4", 205 with a 42-inch vertical leap and can run a 4.3.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Yeah, definitely. He's that's a good player there. You're getting special teams at least, so not a bad idea. Now you're on the clock again. What are you thinking? Maybe even with some more defensive line talent there. Noah Ellis. You already took your nose tackle, so maybe that one
I'm looking at best talent. I like Devontae Price here.
That's a good pick.
I do like him. Could use a running back. You're looking at Mike Davis, who might not be on the team. It's possible. You're looking at Damian Williams, who was signed as a free agent. You could use another running back here. So,
yeah.
I like Devontae Price. I liked what I saw out of him at the Senior Bowl. So I'm going. I'm going to go with the running back in that spot. Put you on the clock here, and you're starting to get. The pickings are getting a little bit slim.
Yeah. Let me see here. Anybody that sticks out. Can you scroll back up? Anybody that makes big sense for me. 206. Yeah, the pickings do start to get pretty slow here. Let's scroll down. Man, I almost want to go with the punter just because he's so talented.
I have before in this part.
Round 6. I mean, it's also not only is this taking Ariza here, it's not just getting a talented player, obviously for the Broncos, but it is also it's a contract move. It's making space because you can move on from Sam Jones and save yourself some decent money. So I think I will go with Matt Ariza here. Well, some people are projecting him to go round 3. Hopefully we don't see Matt Ariza very much, but you know what? Let's have fun with it. Why not? He's the best punter.
I've taken him in that spot before.
And again, the Broncos can save about $3 million, I think, moving on from Sam Jones. So I got no issue with that.
2:13. I'm on the clock. I saw a guy I like taking this spot too. Did he go? No, it was DJ Dale. How far did he go down? Big defensive lineman from Alabama. How do you go wrong with a big defensive lineman from Alabama? So with my final pick, I'll take DJ Dale, and then you've got 60 seconds to make your last 2.
60 seconds. Oh man. Let me make it full screen here again. Scroll down. I haven't taken a run. Can you just pull up the running backs? I need to take a running back with one of these ones. Give me some talent here. Give me some juice. Scroll down. I'm going to just, okay, I have to do it. Give me Tyler Goodson, slashing running back, Goods outside zone scheme fit, explosive in that regard. And let's pull up, can you pull up linebackers and safeties? This is going to be a special teams pick through and through. Nate Landman still there. Jake Hansen. Ugh, this is not a great crop here. Can you pull up the safeties? Brad Hawkins. Oh, there's my guy. Okay, I'm going back to back. Screw it. There's no way Dane Belton should be down here. I think he's going to go in round 5. He played almost the most, some of the most slot snaps from a safety in the NFL or in college football this last season. Had 5 plays on the ball. So yeah, I mentioned Iowa. Everyone drank, but Dane Belton should not be here. That's silly. He's a good player. He has a RAS, I think, or RAS, relative athletic score of 9.3. He's a good tackler. That's silly. I would take Dane Belton every day here. Everyone drink on that one. But that one is that's just good value.
I have a feeling I'm going to get a pretty good grade here.
I think I'm not
going
going
to hit me on it. Well, let's go. And I like Braxton Jones in that spot too. I'd be fine with that one when I took Let's Go.
I think
so
Jones
for the Falcons today, I went Travon Walker. I got Travis Jones, Abraham Lucas. So I've been pounding the table. This draft is good in the trenches. This is a big man's draft. I went big man, big man, big man, big man, super speed, big man, super speed, good running back, big man.
Yeah.
They gave me a B+ on that.
I'm going to get a C-, I bet, because I took a punter, and a lot of the guys, I was like, scroll down. Oh, this guy's way too low. He shouldn't be here. So you got to click the other bubble here to the left.
Where? Oh, here we go.
There you are. You're on fire. C, D, B-, D-. Yeah, they're going to give me a bad grade. That's okay. C. Well, Pro Football Focus, I'm going to have to take it.
With this. I mean, I like Pascal. I like Zach Tom. I like these guys. I like all these guys. Again, we'll save this. We will save this, and we'll see on the over-under if they went higher or lower than these picks that you got them at. I bet, let's see, how many picks did you make? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You will have more than half of those picks higher than they will get drafted higher than where you got them. That's a good draft. That's what you're looking at. Did you get value?
Yep. And the other thing is, shout out to PFF Simulator here. I know that I wish they had multiple boards up here. Maybe like shuffle them every once in a while, because the drafts kind of play out similarly when you have the same board over and over again. But they already updated the Broncos draft position. It became official yesterday, or the NFL announced it, that the Broncos got the Lions 7th round pick in that Trinity Benson trade. So shout out to Pro Football Focus already updating that, and that's great. So Broncos, I think, got 232 instead of just 234. So now they have 2 7th round picks, and we know that George Payton loves all the picks he can get. So that's great. I'm excited about that.
So you see where we both went. I don't have anything else. That's what I wanted to get done today. So any questions? Since we didn't take too many questions in there, any questions in the chat? We got about 50 people watching. Appreciate that. Everybody coming in. We're at 48 minutes. We got about 10 minutes left if we need to. Otherwise, we can get out of here a little early and let everybody enjoy their Easter weekend.
Yeah. And I just want to come back to Cade Otton. This is what Dane Brugler writes about him as far as his strengths. And he has him listed as where is he at? He's the 87th overall prospect, and we got him at 116. So value on that one. Arm length is pretty good, 33 inches, 6'5", 247 pounds at the combine. But he passes the eye test, natural hands catcher out of the frame, body control is excellent, snags the ball without breaking stride, balance and discipline as a route runner, uses body and head fakes to get leverage, gets the most out of every touch, physical inline blocker, and runs his feet at the point of attack, resets himself mid-block to sustain, can overwhelm defensive ends, improve blocking awareness in the run game, outstanding personal and football character, grew up in a family of coaches, and stayed off the injury list for the first 39 games of his career. So at 116, sign me up. I really do think Cade Otton is very close to Trey McBride. And if you can get one, 60 picks later, then God bless, you should do that.
Let's see. John Pope comes in with a question. So why would you take Price over Borghi? Simple. I know Price. I don't know the other guy. That one becomes a familiarity. I watched Devontae Price. Let me see where I thought I put video of him up. Maybe I didn't. at the Senior Bowl, and I just thought he was so smooth. I really liked his running style. So that's simple. And then on Velus Jones, Jared, we'll get back to you too. Velus Jones, he says it reminds me of Cordell Patterson. He's both went in Tennessee. Size is different. He's faster. But other than that, I think he's a little bit more of a natural pass catcher. But he went and ran in the 4.3s. He's a little bit older. Cordell Patterson went the junior college route and is bigger. He's a bigger, more physical guy. But I like Velus Jones as a middle late round possibility to take a flyer on a guy with 4.3 speed. Certainly can't go wrong on that.
Yeah, no, definitely not. My issue with Velus Jones is that I think he's going to be like 26 years old this year, which is not great for a position where, I mean, wide receivers value drops off a cliff typically after 30 years old, unless you are the Oakland Raiders trading multiple first round picks for did they trade multiple first round picks? Either way, they traded a first round pick and whatnot and paid a big contract for a soon to be 31-year-old wide receiver, which is pretty concerning because wide receivers, I mean, you guys have seen it. AJ Green fell off a cliff. Julio Jones fell off a cliff. Once they hit that 30-year-old mark, not many of them tend to stick on. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah,
with
that's
that.
why you like him late. You know, it's
Yeah.
almost like an undrafted free agent contract, as late as that guy is, that you just have exclusive rights to. So again, you get him 5, 6, 7th. I think it's worth a flyer on there. I would applaud that pick 5, 6, or 7th round. Any sooner than that, I start worrying about longevity. Ethan coming in. It's a good draft, gents. Have a good weekend. Appreciate you, Ethan, coming in with the Orange Super, our second of the day. You and Mark Schrader keeping the lights on around here. Certainly appreciate it. And Luke comes in and says, is there any chance the Broncos move up and get Travis Jones somehow? 3 Jones would be lit. Jones, and Jones. That'd be an easy play-by-play call, wouldn't it? Who made the tackle? Jones.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Get all the Joneses you can. I'm Scott, you're taking all my guys. I'm really hoping Abraham Lucas falls to 64. I think that'd be a home run pick for the Broncos. But who knows? And Broncos moving up to get Travis Jones somehow. I think that's one of the few players that I would be okay moving up from 64 to go get. The Broncos need draft picks. If anything, they probably should be looking to trade back and acquire 2023 capital. But right now, Travis Jones is one of the few guys where if he falls to 50, I'm on the phone. A couple other those guys are also defensive linemen. Like if Boye Mafe falls to 50, hello, yes, please let me come up. I want that guy real bad. Arnold Ebiketie is another one. Scott, you disagree with me on 2 guys that I've gone back to the tape and watched them. I'm like, yep, reaffirmation of these guys. Logan Hall, I really love Logan Hall's versatility. He plays angry and mean. If he's there at 64, I'm clicking my heels. Really excited about that. And Arnold Ebiketie, another one. The film. Senior Bowl is one thing, and when they don't perform dominant at the Senior Bowl, that maybe drops them from first round conversation. But at 64, hallelujah, sign me up. The tape is too good for both those guys.
Yeah, and Logan Hall could slide inside. You know, at 6'6", 285, he could slide inside and on the next level once he hits 300 pounds, and that'd be just fine.
Yep, I think that's his best usage.
But it was a small sample size, but he did not do anything for me at the Senior Bowl. There were other guys that I like better. Jared Patterson, self-proclaimed Carolina Panthers fan, welcome in, appreciate you. He says Evan Neal or Icky. I'd go Evan Neal, but I'm more familiar with him. I'd have a little bit more trust in that pick.
Yeah, it depends on what you want to run. It depends if you want to be more of a pass-centric scheme, then I'm taking Evan Neal, more fluid in pass protection right now. The length and the size is going to play more in pass protection. But if I'm looking to be a 50-50 split, let's say I'm the Tennessee Titans and my game is making teams have to play single high coverage, cover 1, because I have Derrick Henry, then I'm going to lean into Derrick Henry and take Ike Ekwonu, who is a much better run blocker, probably the most powerful blocker in the entire class. The only guy who might give him a run for his money is Tyler Smith, but Icky's like a year beyond Tyler Smith as far as development and whatnot. So it depends. I would go Evan Neal because pass protection I think is more valuable than the run blocking. But if you are so good at run blocking that defenses have to play you respecting the run, therefore giving you better looks for the pass game, that's the game of chess that is football, right? Like it's like people like, oh, I want to get a smaller linebacker who can cover. Well,
How did Tannehill become a really efficient passer? Derrick Henry.
Yeah, easy looks. AJ Brown too doesn't help. That doesn't hurt.
Tannehill didn't get that much better. his team around him did.
Yeah. He
Uh,
also got healthy. That's a big one. But
yeah, John Pope says Thibodeau, Kayvon Thibodeau or Jermaine Johnson. I'd go Thibodeau here.
yeah,
I'd be okay with Jermaine Johnson at 8. I like it. I like him a lot. I've been, he was one of those Senior Bowl guys, and his combine and his measurables measured up, and he was productive. So he hits
yeah.
all three for me. Production, athleticism, and then he showed out when he needed to. So I like all of those things. Chris Walker, John Ridgeway, Arkansas, nose guard, 330 pounds. Would he be good value in the 4th round or later?
I think later, personally, just because he is so nose guardy and he's not going to, it's not like Kenny Clark where he's staying on the field on 3 downs. He's going to be pretty niche as far as his deployment on the field. So probably, I think I'm personally talking, round 5, round 6, round 7 there for Ridgeway if you are pressed to find yourself an interior defensive lineman. But again, not every team is going to be in that situation. So I wouldn't take him round 4. I think maybe a little later for me personally. I like him better than Neil Farrell, though, because Neil Farrell, I mean, he's got a little bit more juice than Ridgeway, but the 30-inch arm length for a nose tackle is problematic.
Yeah, I didn't realize Neil Farrell was that big. He doesn't look that big. Like he's listed 6'4", 340, and he doesn't play as big as Travis Jones did. If you had asked me, who's bigger, I was like, Travis Jones. Travis Jones is a lot bigger. Well, he's not. But the 5'4", 40 for Neil Farrell, the 21.5-inch vert, 8'4", 3-cone, that I did see. That I did see. So he's a hold down the fort, fire plug, 1st and 10, bring him in on 3rd and inches type of guy.
I personally like Fedarian Mathis more than Ridgeway and Farrell. And also you got your guy, Agbania, later on as well, that interests me, that I think has a little bit more, maybe not more juice, but equivalent juice with really good arm length as well. I
Yeah,
think he's
Tito Ogbania, I usually get him with that 150 pick in these mock drafts. He was really good at the Senior Bowl. I like his size. He's measured well, 326 pounds. I didn't realize he was that big. He looks leaner than that. He plays, he looks leaner than that out there, and he moves leaner than that. So 326, I can drop him in at nose guard in that 3-4. So I really do like him.
Yeah, he's a really good one, and we haven't talked very much about him. Just scrolling over interior defensive lineman, Thomas Booker, interesting player from Stanford, was lined up all across that defense for Stanford. Not a massive player, at 6'3", 300 pounds, 33-inch arm length, but apparently he's brilliant, like a 4.0 at Stanford, and somebody to keep an eye on there that I think is probably closer to a top 100 pick than is currently being discussed. That just totally flying under the radar right now.
And Chris asked, do you think the Falcons need more help at linebacker than most believe? I think linebacker is okay. Hopefully having some big guys in front of him will help Deion Jones more. Rashawn Evans, I think, was a good signing, added a little bit more size. And Michael Walker is a good 3rd guy. And then anybody else they bring in. So I think linebacker is okay. I think it's relatively speaking. Do they need help? Yeah, they could get better there. But relative to the offensive defensive line, the wide receiver room, it's in a more secure position. For me, the top position room right now for the Atlanta Falcons is corner, ironically. And then after that, you start thinking, yeah, we could use help pretty much everywhere else. And you can always use a corner. If Sauce is there, grab him. You could always use more corners for sure, especially when one of the guys you're counting on is 32, 33 years old. On that note, Nick, I think we're going to get out of here. Want to say thanks again to Mark Schrader and Ethan, the DWI guys, for their very generous super chats, keeping these light ons, keeps my forehead nice and shiny. On that note, got any big plans for the weekend? It is a holiday weekend of sorts.
I'm hoping to go do a hike on Sunday. We'll see. The weather has been chaos here. It's been like the coldest April in Seattle since like 1962 or something. And I think like Tacoma got half an inch of snow yesterday, which is insane. And they had to close down Snoqualmie Pass to like do controlled avalanches and stuff. So it's been a pretty wild April so far here. But right now it looks like no snow on Sunday. I am going to have to go work tomorrow, unfortunately. But is what it is. I will use those days later on when the summer comes. I got, I think, 4 backpacking books on the books right now, or maybe even 5. So going to be out and about. I need to talk with all of my podcast hosts to say, hey, August, good luck. I'm going to be gone. But is what it is. But no, yeah, nothing really. I need to get on out of here, though, because I got to go pick up groceries.
All
So
right. Well, it's a baseball softball weekend for me if the weather cooperates, and I'm not sure it's gonna. So we will see. But on that note, Nick will be back on the Mile High Huddle channel Saturday evening. I will be in the background tonight with the Dove Valley Deep Divers crew on the Mile High Huddle YouTube channel. And otherwise, we will see you back on this channel for Falcons and NFL and draft content next Wednesday and Friday. So until then, appreciate you being here, and we'll see you next time.